Hello everyone, welcome to Property Zone Live again. This program is powered by IQI Global, an award-winning agency, and we are famous for doing the things a lot of people have not done, going to the uncharted territory. Today our topic would be freehold versus leasehold. Of course, at the first glance, we seem to know a lot about freehold and leasehold. But if you give some true understanding and some time to find out, there's actually more behind on the surface. And today we have a very good honor to have two speakers right in front of us. And then first we have Henry. Hi, Henry.
Hi. Shon.
Henry actually started his own investment in property. Started in Puchong area at first, actually. He's buying a lot of subsales property. And then through the experience, he actually had a hands-on experience to understand the main difference between freehold and leasehold. And then also he is a licensed for a professional real estate agent. And then he can give us a lot of good perspective on today's topic, freehold versus leasehold. And our next speaker is none other than Shon Yap. Shon Yap is actually a web designer by qualification. He started to join real estate environment and career 7 years ago. Started as a sub-sales agent 8 years ago. And then he has actually slow moving into selling for developer and corporate. And through the experience, he can see a shift of paradigm between the attitude of property buyer towards leasehold property. How does it change from 8 years ago compared to now? All right. Without further ado, okay, let's welcome to Henry. I'm going to pose the first question to Henry. Henry, can you just give us a layman term?
Yeah.
Just tell us, what is the main difference between freehold and leasehold from a legal perspective?
Okay, sure. From the legal perspective, leasehold and freehold is the way how governments control the tenure periods, how the ownerships can dictate the usage of the land. For the freehold, it's indefinite that the owners itself, that who owning the land, have the free right to do whatever he wants within the legal way on that piece of land itself. Whereas for the leasehold, they only have 99 years of the tenure periods that they can stay and use the piece of land. This is a way how governments control the usage of the land, and if necessary, after 99 years, the government may want to do some change the usage of the land itself.
Okay, I see. Thank you for your input. Henry, can I just ask you a question?
Yes.
All right. If you are an investor point of view, okay, before I pose the questions, okay, I want to highlight to you that now, for those who just joined into this program, don't forget to share, like our page, and ask this question, answer this question. Would you ever buy a leasehold property? And why? The one who can give the best answer to us will stand a chance to win a Muji diffuser. All right? The lucky winner will be announced at the end of the live session. Okay? Sorry for the interruption, Henry. So let's come back to this. As an investor,
Yes.
shall we avoid a leasehold at all costs? Or if the answer is no, what are the things they should consider?
Yep.
What are the common concerns for leasehold property? Are they valid? Are these concerns valid?
Okay. Yeah. First of all, as investors or as a general public, they would think that leasehold, after the periods end, they have to surrender back the land back to the government. That is not true. Yeah, because when the tenure expire, you can still extend it by paying some premium to extend the period. Yeah. So second things, as investors, what you care the most is about the cash flow. For the leasehold, when you want to transact and transfer your ownerships to the buyer, it will take longer time. That will maybe affect in terms of the cash flow.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the first elements that investors should consider. If they are okay with the cash flow, then they can take leasehold, because the leasehold is they can buy the properties at a lower and a cheaper price, whereas for the freehold they have to pay higher premium. Yeah, that is the first element. Second element is about the return. Of course, as an investor, you're talking about you want to buy the property with the lowest price and you want to rent the units at the highest price. Let's look at this example itself. Yeah, here I'm preparing for two examples for you. At the right hand side, it is a condo that is considered as a freehold. The price is at a higher, and at the left hand side, that condo itself is a leasehold, 2 rooms and 1,005 square feet, almost similar. Let's see the next slides. What are the difference in terms of the rental? Yeah, on the right hand side, the so-called freehold condominiums is getting 5,500 rental. But if you look at the left hand side, the so-called leasehold condo with the same area is commanding 2,000 more compared to the freehold owners. So obviously, you can notice that the tenants not really care about the status of the freehold versus the leasehold. Let's go to the next slide. In terms of the selling price itself, for the left-hand side, the freehold can sell at 1,046 per square feet, whereas on the so-called leasehold, which I thought everybody thought that it will be lower, but instead it is almost 2 times. And sell at a higher price compared to
almost 2,000 per square feet, right?
Right. So that is samples how we could see that actually there are a lot of factors besides this freehold and leasehold who is commanding the price of the selling price. Okay. As a summary, as investors, you should look at the factors as a total. If you are getting a good projects at the right locations, then the tenure periods, leasehold and freehold, it doesn't really a main factor.
Okay. So let's coming back to the cash flow things.
Yes.
So I think if I speak from an investor point of view, if I'm buying a leasehold property, okay, is there a difference between the transaction period for the S&P, sales and purchase transaction period to be completed between Selangor State and KL State if the unit that I'm having is a leasehold property? Is there a timeline difference? Yeah.
Okay. For here, I'd like to share with you the next slides, which is the difference between the KL and the Selangor, because these two states they are governed by two different bodies. For the KL is governed by the DBKL, Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur, whereas for the Selangor you have various type of local government authorities like MBSJ, Subang Jaya, Shah Alam, and Selayang, and all these. Generally speaking, there won't be any difference in terms of the transactions timeline. The length of the transactions timeline indeed depends on the documents of the owners or the sellers itself. If the sellers have a very complete documents and they have a valid reasons, then the transactions will be faster. Instead, if the owners do not have complete documents, then it will take longer. Yeah.
Okay. So, but if in general, if for a leasehold property to be transacted completely,
yes,
compared to freehold,
yes,
what should the owner expected? Additional 1 month, 3 months in general, if document is in full, complete, yeah.
So let's assume the document is complete. For the leasehold, generally, you will be talking about 6 months for the rental, for the landed property. Okay. But if you are talking about the high rise, you need to get the consent from the developers. So it will be 9 months.
Oh, okay.
So that is for the leasehold.
So additional 6 months for landed, 9 months for the high rise. Okay.
Correct. Whereas for the freehold, if everything is in the good hand, I think 4 months you can change the name already.
So there will be additional either 2 months to 4 months time.
Yes,
okay. All right. Thank you very much for your input. I'm not letting you go yet, Tata. For those who are just joined in, okay, don't forget to like, share our post, and please answer this question. Would you ever buy a leasehold property? Why? For those who can give us the best answer to your question, to our questions, you are stand a chance to win this Muji diffuser. We will announce the winner at the end of the live session. Okay? Henry, as I say, I'm not letting you go yet. I have a questions coming here. Okay.
Yeah.
If a Boomi
Yes.
were to buy a leasehold property, does it mean that they can only transfer or sell it to another Boomi instead of on the open market side?
Okay. So if Bumi owners owning a land, then if the land status is the freehold, then most likely he can sell to non-Bumi or whoever that eligible to buy. There won't be much limitations. But if the status is a leasehold, then he need to get the consent from the land office in order to sell to the non-Bumi. And I do have an experience as a non-Bumi myself, my personal experience. I managed to bought properties from a Bumi, and he managed to transfer the ownerships to myself as a non-Bumi. I've been through that, and I proved that it's workable. It's
Leasehold property.
Leasehold property, Bumi seller to non-Bumi buyer.
As a landed or high rise?
It's a landed.
It's a landed. Wow.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
For those that would like to understand further, then maybe can PM below so that I can reply them accordingly. Because Shon, for these land matters and the legal matters, every state's authority have their own rules, and every local government also have their own sets of rules.
Okay.
So I cannot give a general answer
Yeah,
how
understood.
to do that.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have any further, you can leave it there, your questions, and we will be answering to your questions accordingly. Yes.
Okay.
Back to you.
Thank you, Henry. Okay. For those who like to have a PDF file or whatever they have conversed today, type "I love property." At the end of the sessions, our support staff behind will email a copy of the PDF file so that you can see you can have a hard copy, a soft copy of the topic, the contents that we have just discussed today. All right. Of course, if you have any other questions, type #AskIQI. Write down your questions. We'll attend to the questions and then we'll give you the answer on a separate manner. All right. Without further ado, I will bring up another speaker for today, Mr. Shon Yap. I will address him, Mr. Yap, or Yap, because we have two Shon in the house to avoid the confusions. So, Yap, can you share with me your thought? Okay.
Hi.
If there are any buyers out there who are going to buy a property for own stay, should this whole be a concern? And why?
Okay. I joined property sales is about 8 years ago. Then for selling new project is about 4 years plus. So I realized that we getting more and more buyers or investors. They are not so care about the freehold and leasehold. So why? Because of before that, a lot of buyer, they will concerns or ask about questions like what are the differentiates. So in the next slide, so we can see the differentiates about the freehold and leasehold. As we all know that freehold will be 999 years. So a lot of people I like to buy the freehold things. So when we come with all the facts and data, we're comparing for our leasehold and the freehold property. So we're knowing that some people, they were first to ask the question is about what if the leasehold not approved for the extension? What if the government, they want to take back the land? So in these two questions, I will show you the examples. So in my next slides, we can see that actually it happened in the Subang Jaya. There are more quite Empire Subang Mall. And beside that, there was one condo, it's called Sarjana Residency, and it is freehold land property. So because of that 2008, they have LRT Putran line extension, and when they confirm the alignment line and the area and the station, and they have one station beside the condo. So because of the cost and the alignment station, so the process runner, they have to claim back the land from the condo, part of the land. In my next slide, you can see that actually there's a tennis court for the part. So the developer for the LRT lane, they have to compensate back for the owners, which is they are affected, so-called affected. So when this I can see that freehold and the leasehold, they have the same issue when they have the needs by the government to take the land, no matter it's freehold or the leasehold.
So the residents still able to stay there, but just without a tennis court.
Yes,
Okay.
tennis is no more. So
Okay.
from the slide, you can see the pictures. You can see there are no more tennis court for the condo. So if really you buy the condo because you want to play tennis, so too bad lah. No more tennis court. Yes.
Okay. So thank you for your input. Yeah. If I were to ask a more specific question in another way to help to address certain concerns from the buyer, the audience as well. So if I were to buy a leasehold property for own stay, so you say leasehold, the land tenure should not be the major factor for considerations. What are the things I should consider that it should put above the land tenure, in your opinions?
For my experience, right? So a lot of buyers they will think they will compare freehold and the leasehold property about the price of the concept. So from that you can see in my next slide. So in the comparison you can see that leasehold actually they provide more things and the price will slightly cheaper. If the same area they have the condo is a freehold and a leasehold, usually the condo they will slightly higher for the selling price like SPA price. So why? Because like we are the freehold land, so that's why they have some rights to selling slightly higher, even though they provide same things for like furnishing or free legal fees. Even though they provide the same things, but their selling price for the freehold property is slightly higher. But if you're buying for your own stay, and the main thing you like, the price, are you really afford to buying for the property unit because of the freehold, or like maybe it's a leasehold, you can like slightly cheaper and maybe 200,000 plus or 300,000 lower and more affordable to buying the property for your own use. And usually for the leasehold property, right, they will provide more things like more facilities, more better environment to compete with the freehold unit. Yeah.
So they will give you more for a leasehold property to compete with the freehold property in the same area.
Yes, because that they are leasehold.
Okay.
And the freehold, there's no matter I have 10 facilities or 20 facilities, I can sell higher or you have to buy higher with higher cost because we are a freehold. So they have some differentiate.
Okay. How about this? Another question is, if I am a buyer for own stay, and I don't mind to buy a leasehold property, but if I were to compare between a leasehold completed in a sub-sales market and a leasehold under construction project from a developer, should I have different consideration on this between completed property and under construction project?
If both properties are leasehold, and the first question you have to ask back to yourself, you want to buy it for like own stay or investment?
Let's say own stay.
Own stay, you want to hurry to move in, or you can wait for 2 to 3 years. If you have the needs or you need to move in short times, like maybe 6 months later or within a year for your new marriage or others' needs, so they have to choose for the completed property. If you're willing to wait for 2 and 3 years later with like now the sales package, you have a lot of cashback or rebate, then why not you can choose the under construction, because you have buy a lower cost and more benefit, which is you can save a lot of money, so-called the cash out you have to pay to buy the under con or an subsidy property. So
So if I were to draw a simple line, that means if I want to buy a leasehold property, is it a line that draw if it's below certain number of years remaining lease is a no-no, or above it is fine? What would be the figure, the remaining number of years for the remaining lease that you feel is safe to buy?
Usually, when the buyer will concern for the leasehold, right, they will concern that I can't sell to the next buyer if I buy the leasehold now. So usually when your leasehold less than 75 years, still okay to buy because it's things for buy your own stay. Unless the leasehold is less than 30 years, usually the bank they would approve the loan for the next buyer, unless your next buyer is buying it with cash. So as long as your leasehold property you still have 75 years and above or 70 years and above, right, it's no harm for you to buying for own use. And we can see from the Henry, the formula he showed, and actually they're really good formula for us to know how much we have to pay for that. And actually it's very good examples, which is all the formula and calculation we have that. Yeah.
Would you want to share the formula?
Yes, we can show. We get back to the Henry.
Yeah, sure.
Or maybe just verbally, roughly, then people have a rough idea. If I need to renew my remaining lease for my house,
Okay.
which is a leasehold, how much I need to prepare? Just a rough figure so that people will have a better understanding.
Okay.
Yeah?
So,
Yeah, sure. Okay, because I think just now, Shon, you're asking me about the difference between the transaction time between the KL and the Selangor. Besides that, in terms of the formula, so there's a difference.
Yeah. Okay.
For the KL area, it is the formulas, as you all can see from the slides itself. They are 3/4 times the next is land per square feet times the land area and times the number of years. Maybe the slides there, 3 years to renew is not correct. It's meaning to say it's a number of years to renew. For examples, if you are having 99 years and you only have about 60 years to expire, yeah. So in this case, you need to what you want to renew is 39 years.
Correct.
So that 39 times the per square feet times the area, there's a total price divided by 99 years.
Okay.
And times 3 divided by 4. As what you all can see from the slides shown. That is for KL. For the Selangor, it will be 1/4 times that numbers that we shown.
Same equation, but instead of 3/4, it becomes 1/4. So
Exactly.
it's cheaper to renew the lease in Selangor.
Yes, you
Okay.
are right.
So another question I want to pose to you, Henry, since you are on this topic. Let's say I have a leasehold property. My remaining year is 40.
Yes.
If I decide to refresh it, do I have to refresh maximum 99 years or can I refresh just 30 years?
Yes.
It's up to me to decide?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say something of that?
Yes, please.
Besides that, actually the local government is encouraged the owners to renew it before it expired.
Yes. We
Generally-
better.
Correct. Because Shon, during my my conversations with those normal home buyers, they have
Yes.
one perceptions. They thought that only you come to the almost finished expired, then only you can renew. That is wrong perceptions.
Yeah.
Indeed, you can renew it anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, whether to process or not, it depends on the respective state's authority. Yeah.
Okay.
That's something that I like the audience in watching these videos to know about it.
Yeah, good that I asked as well. Okay. All right. We are about to come to the end of the session for today. For those who just come in, if you have any questions that you want to address to any of the speaker, please type #AskIQI. Write down your question in your comment. We will come back to you very shortly. And for those of you who are not aware, we are actually giving out a Muji air diffuser. How to win this? First, share our post, and answer this question. Would you ever buy a leasehold property? Why? Those who can give us the best answer to this, we'll pick one lucky winner, and you can walk away with this. At the end of the sessions, we will announce the lucky winner. So, thank you very much for your time. And of course, thank you for the precious time you have part with us, Henry and Shon. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.